The warm-up lap about to get us underway, the longest World Championship battle in history. Jorge Martin starts from... Might have had some kind of late pre-race problem. It looks like he's got away safely. Conditions to get us underway in 2022. Previous winners, of course, Yamaha did the double here. 22 here in Doha. There's so many fascinating elements. Next 8 months or so, who will be the king of Qatar here tonight? Well, we're about to find out as the Ross do from 9th place. Fabio Quartararo says he knew hard. We said it's going to be the closest, most competitive World Championship in history. It looks like the most unpredictable MotoGP. What do you think? Who are you going for?
Well, contenders air conservation in the closing stages of this race, particularly in the last 5 or 6 laps, are going to be absolutely crucial. I have the superior race pace on that Suzuki. If he just how potent that Suzuki will be on this start-finish.
Get set, MotoGP fans, you're about 2022. Paolo Campinotti, Pramac Ray, good reason. He's got his man Jorge Martin on pole position for the 5th time in MotoGP. He comes 49, the green flag about to be waved at the back. Put him here tonight in Qatar. We're all set to go in 2022. It's lights out and lift off for MotoGP in 2022 in Qatar. Not a bad start for the poleman Jorge Martin, although big moment. The 2 Repsol Hondas got away brilliantly. Marc Marquez gets the whole shot. Pol Espargaro slots into second. The initial launch good for Marquez, who lead.
From Brad Binder, who's up into 3rd place. He's trying to, and he's got both factory Ducatis and the poleman behind him.
Pol Espargaro leading on a Repsol Honda. We would never have said that. 2020 champ Joan Mir. We know how good he is at keeping his tyres in good order. Do not discount Joan Mir. Was that Martin trying to recover the lost ground he made?
This is where he has to make his progress in this infield section. Martin, just the first lap that Quartararo needed up to P7.
With the slipstream and the power of the Ducati down this start, about anything between 10 and 12k slower. Brilliant by sticks his leg out there. Maybe an apology quickly to Enea Bastianini. He got through on the Italian at turn 15. Martin doesn't
go through immediately. Up the inside of his teammate he goes. Pol Espargaro behind him.
No second invitation needed for Pol Espargaro to take the lead back. Excellent first lap. Excellent. He can qualify well. You know he's going to be in the game. You know he's going to be ATM man up inside that top 3. What a first lap as well.
All had poor starts. Bastianini's the first of them in. Bagnaya's down behind again, Oliveira in 14th. And Johan's
only down in 14th place at the end of the first lap after a wretched start. He's got a lot of ground to recover here. Then the main on was Brad Binder now. That should pay dividends. You'd for the last 6 or 7 laps. That's when it's going to be key. That's what Michelin have told us. That's what so many people have told us. 6 or 7.
To make quick progress. That's him up the inside of Takaki Nakagami. Just how strong is that Suzuki down the main straight? Joan Mir is able to hold the slipstream and he's able to hold Enea Bastianini.
Well, Bagnaia and Miller need a slow pace at the front here to get themselves on pre so far. So he's quickly into his groove, having started from the front row for the very first time.
Van Rins is one of those who are expected to make progress through this race, as Mitiam in their wildest dreams would have expected Brad Binder to stay up at the front, let alone be challenging the 2 Repsol Honda in 4th.
In Valentino Rossi magic, didn't he? He's coming under pressure. Mobile in the first couple laps, picked off 4 places, but at the moment not able to find, still in 6th place. Head of Fabio.
Got Alex Rins really itching to get past him. Quartararo is half a second behind the Ducati of poleman Jorge Martin. Is Quartararo able to run this pace?
Now he's just taken Alex Marquez and gone up into 10th place in the recent gaming on Friday when he saw he got the top speed. Never happened on a factory Suzuki before. They've made massive strides. Ride height device. That Suzuki, without any question, is back, what, 8th place?
Yeah, Ducati aren't really getting their wish for a slow pace at the front. Here comes Joan Mir again, having a look up the inside. He's leaving the door wide open, but so far he's holding
that better braking stability when he's trail braking in as well, a little bit more edge grip. Last year when he had to run C, he couldn't stop the bike. He felt like he was crashing in every corner. Acceleration, and so it's really hard to pass KTM. And of course Brad Binder, super aggressive on the hands full here.
Find his teammate. Whether that will change if the will have to wait and see. Fabio Quartararo still starting to get a little bit detached. He's got Pecco Bagnaia closing on him due to their terrible starts.
Yeah, the pace just dropping off a little bit. Polis's pace, he's very wary, very conscious about tyre life in those last 6 or 7 laps. And this is the race that we kind of... Binder still there in 3rd place. Mir 4th. Is not pretty happy to hold station right now and just let the race come to them. No sense in burning up the tyres at this
man once again. But yeah, we're in a bit of a holding pattern at the moment. Looks to get on terms with the 2020 world champion Fabio Quartararo.
Show as well on the opening night here for Jack Miller. Last night, 4th place. He's been relegated down there. And Marco Bezzecchi, I'm not sure if there was a mistake recently from the Australian, but not going. Bastianini already making public declarations. Year-old Ducati power, actually, of how good the Suzuki is this year, engine-wise, aero-wise, and that drive last few years. That Ducati not able to outdrag us. Has
got past Marc Marquez crucially as well. Brad Binder up into second place. That is not mere. He's now made the move.
Never even had a top 6 here in Losail. It's been, thankfully, he didn't lose the front, took the front, just knew that release the brakes, run wide, take your punishment, and then try up into second and looking strong.
Here's and Bastianini straight. Doesn't hear Bastianini, but a shout out for Darren Binder as well. He's up into 19th position. He is ahead of his teammate and Binder, both Binder.
Oh, to Taka Nakagami. So factory Yamaha start in 2022. He's down in 17th place. He's been pushed out of the point scoring place. The Bastianinis, Ducati do anything about the Repsol Honda and Marc Marquez. Likewise, Jorge Martin. That's the slipstream effect. That's just those extra 5, 6, 7 kilometres an hour you pick up and down. Jeep, some thoughts.
Yeah, just about that braking area when we fears with the wings. They help the bike stop as well. When that device clicks back up and ducks, they release.
So Pol Espargaro, far from him, he made a brilliant launch off the line from 6th place on the grid. He's been happy to make, I'm sure wherever you are in the fan war, you're enjoying this cracking start to the 2020. That has the advantage from Brad Binder, still there in 2nd place. Bastianini in 3rd. Marquez
at the back of the field. There is clearly some sort of issue with the 43 Ducati. That's Aleix Espargaro pick.
Yellow flag as well.
Yeah, Marco Bezzecchi's dropping down the field, and Bezzecchi has dropped off the tower on the left-hand side of the screen, so we think something. Both Suzuki's really in the middle of the battle. Alex Rins just behind. He's trying to keep...
Work loose. He had a mystery vibration problem on the right-hand side of his tyre. It was almost a corner when he was looking well set for a point-scoring finish. Yellow flags and are still out in all sectors. I'm sure Jack Miller, bad start to the year for the Australian, putting himself at the forefront of the Espargaro. Surprised to see Mir struggling to run the pace at the front at the moment. Will he come on?
To do at the moment. He's only a second 22. 5 different. Pol Espargaro leading for Honda ahead of a KTM of Brad Binder, a Ducati of Enea Bastianini, the second Honda of Marc Marquez.
Well, in the early stage of this Qatar Grand Prix, I don't think any go. There was confirmation on your screens. Unfortunately, Jack Miller retired. Down and out of the opening Grand Prix and using a bit of grunt of the Ducati down that start finish. This motorcycles here and the Yamahas has been pretty embarrassing. Jack Miller storms out a problem that is not of his doing.
Yeah, this isn't the race we were expecting. Espargaro now in the mid 154s. The big question is, will that soft rear tyre that's sitting in this Grand Prix, a necessity really, that's a tyre that KTM kind of have to run in performance out of it. But Binder running comfortably in 2nd place, Bastianini just on his tail, and the top 4, the only...
Team Quattro and Bagnaia Bridge, what at the moment looks like, and have some good tyre. Start of lap number 10 then, and we're starting to get some set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Right behind him, Binder bettered that, and then he's on the factory Aprilia. The pace then drops to a 1:54.46.
Let's go down.
I can't get the official reason for Jack stopping.
Some front-end confidence for their riders this year. They've certainly made it a more rider-friendly, a bit more margin for error on that. His 3rd crash of the weekend. He's opening Grand Prix, I think, just outside of the...
We're in a world of trouble. They seemed in all sorts of problems back in pre-season. Brad Binder is putting in here to run. It seemed in a world of trouble. We never thought that we'd see Brad Binder not just running second, but keeping Pol Espargaro in lead. Well and true.
The rider that he wasn't last year. It all looks quite things to try and maybe preserve a bit more tyre life as we get into the 2nd half of this Grand Prix. Marquez has just flags out again in Sector 1.
Down the time screens.
Yeah,
I think it's the KTM, unfortunately, who's gone down. So a bit of a mixed night then for KTM. Here is Miguel Oliveira.
Well, he was so up and down last year, Miguel Oliveira, and this just continues in the last 9 races of last year with 4 DNFs. And unfortunately, he's kicked up victory, still hunting
to grow into this. Joan Mir has now joined this leading group, being headed by Pol Espargaro. We're on board now with Marc Marquez, trailing Enea Bastianini. Marc Marquez for the win and for the podium. It's pretty clear this truly in the podium battle.
Yeah. The powerhouse like Honda were never going to take the last couple of years lying down, were they? There's now Grazzini team, the widow of the late former, fantastically carrying on Fausto's legacy here, forming the MotoGP team. No! Opening Grand Prix of this. What a disastrous night for the Ducati Lenovo team. Jorge Martin looks like he takes it on the chin, but what a disaster. Up the inside then comes Bagnaia, tucks right from underneath him, trail breaking into the first corner on the outside. Where to go? He gets clattered.
He was just being overtaken into turn 1 and found himself being skewered, looking if he's making a bit of a gap out of the immediately to get off into the distance.
The highs and lows, the ups and downs of Grand Prix motorcycle racing. Ducati last year, jubilant, joyous. They took their first ever podium in action. Jorge Martin, the poleman, wiped out by Pecco Bagnaia. You don't see Pecco Bagnaia make some of the debut, aren't they? That's why the yellow flags have still been out in Sector 1. It will be a popular win if he hangs on here with 10 laps to go in Qatar. He was really put through the mill. The really unruly Honda.
Observation from Simon.
Mentioning the last 7 laps, 6 laps, something like that, a sprint to the end. And these bikes, bank size, they can't get the whole way on at a certain point. And the most popular one last year was like give it full power in the beginning to full power and fight at the end.
Hasn't Lace Espargaro got to find a way through on Brad Binder. He has been right from the get-go in this Grand Prix. Is Brad Binder just struggling right now? There's nothing wrong with the top speed of the KTM. We know that. We saw it in beast mode engaged yet again. He knew he had to make that move. He could see Pol Espargaro just he's up into second.
Night of the 2022 season that all of Ducati's hope. Max try and make up. Can he now close the gap on Pol Espargaro? And crucially, can Marc Marquez quickly make the move? Bastianini too, but Bastianini really pushing on now. He knows he needs to close.
Nearly going into turn 6. He ran in a little. The best Ducati I think we've ever seen since they came to the championship back in 2000 last year, and a bunch of pre-season testing as well. So proven GP21 is. I've got to say though, Bastianini is still wringing its neck. He's still riding. Find a way to get back on par with Pol Espargaro though, who still leads
at it over the course of the rest of the lap. And how big a role is tyre choice going to play as the Gresini team, the pre-season title favourite? No points for the factory ball with Jorge Martin, and you're about to see Pecco Bagnaia slide into view.
Yeah, this is going to be a peeves foremost that he made the mistake and then wiped out. But he's not right when you're on the limit, when everybody's as fast as what they are in modern day MotoGP. Even the very best can get a dreamy team in this MotoGP World Championship. Bastianini said pre-MotoGP to honour Fausto's legacy. He's doing Fausto proud right now, that's for sure.
Really hurts, enough to put you out for a few races.
Keep an eye on that, any news we get on Jorge Martin Binder. But once again, we have to say, Brad Binder doing a phenomenal third distance in this Grand Prix is quite exceptional. Quartararo, he is pretty much in a lonely 8th place at the moment. He is 7 seconds off the lead. Now,
the start of his world title defence, it's a pretty forlorn last year. That's not going to be history repeating itself. Pol Espargaro trying to create some chance of winning in the Premier class. He half laps away from proving so many people wrong. I think they were down, think he had this resolve. They didn't think he had this speed.
But time will soon run out for Rene Bastianini if he doesn't make serious inroads over the course of this lap. Sector 3 clicks up now, starting to close in. But another rider with good late race pace.
Espargaro, it just looks like at this stage of the Grand Prix, Marc Marquez has not got anything fighting together for the podium.
Big lap from Rene Bastianini, just about gets it back across to the right-hand side of the track to hold off Aleix Espargaro, but we are potentially looking at an Espargaro family double on the out on lap 16 of this Grand Prix. A 1:54.5 last time around, a quarter of a second quicker than the leader.
It's only ever happened 2 years ago. Are we about to see that amazing feat here? Like at this stage of the race, he's got the better pace. We're now into that phase of the Grand Prix where tyre wear is going to be Aleix Espargaro at bay and hang on to that 4th spot.
Yeah, this is where Marc Marquez on the softer option. Aleix Espargaro just appeared and he leaves an elbow on Marc Marquez. But Aleix Espargaro with some serious pace up into
had a fight, and he didn't. But Aleix Espargaro, it was tight, but he made it through. Now then, look at that gap coming down here. It's very much game on here now in Qatar. To what will be a famous victory on course though for an emotional win will be Rene Bastianini. He's right now on the.
He's going to be desperately searching for grip in these closing 5 laps. And just how deep the talent pool is in MotoGP.
Power, or will he try and attack before turn 16 and then wonder what's going through the minds right now of the likes of Humphrey here in Qatar. They come through the fast right-handers. Pol Espargaro still standing firm. A bit of a twitch there. Tyre choice now, and it looks like with that medium compound on time, be patient. He's got the better speed at this stage of the race than Pol Espargaro. He doesn't need to take big risks.
Get back past. Does he have any grip on the brakes to get past into turn 1?
That's game over for Pol Espargaro. He did that in one of the Grand Prix here last year. The pressure's been built here now of the Gresini team, and of course the mistake from
could soon be battling it out for the final podium position. The Suzuki challenge just hasn't materialised. Near and Rins 3.
Well, Honda said they'd found some horsepower in the wing. That 3rd gear final corner. Pol Espargaro was desperately trying to resist. He just got a bit of slipstream. It's in his hands now. Oh, this team was set up by Fausto Gresini behind his widow down there in pit lane. She can barely watch. Be a truly emotional and remarkable win. What a
Yeah, what an incredible podium we're potentially staring at. 3 laps to go as they come across the line now. Is he comfortable there in second place? Espargaro, that's Espargaro frees.
This is real tense stuff. Big twitch again. Look at Espargaro. He's got nothing left in that soft rear. Coming out of it as well. There is Nadia, team principal. I'm sure the tears are going to be flowing. Post 5 races in his Moto3 career. He's being born and created right here now. What
suited the KTM. As mentioned, they'd never been in the top 6 here in the MotoGP race. But Brad Binder from the 3rd row of the grid, a brilliant start to get himself away with that leading. Espargaro 155s. Brad Binder was actually quicker than the leader on that last lap, but not enough at the moment to close in that lead.
Didn't he? On to the podium. He's coming under pressure though from his old stake here, as well as 16 points. Brad Binder looks secure in second. This man looks really good. Bastianini 1.2 seconds. Thought was going to come from Mir and Rins. It hasn't materialized. 54.6. That was 8 tenths faster than Fabio Quartararo. So Quartararo actually might lose that 8th
position. But Aleix Espargaro is one of the few riders in these closing.
Espargaro has just got nothing left in that soft rear tyre. We just saw him there coming out of turn 6 on the gas. It was like a bucking. Just now, estimate just what a special moment this championship. Fausto Gresini was one of the most long and lived for racing, and she is about to see Enea Championship racing by Fausto Gresini, a man who he had faith in, a man who he believed in, and now that first emotional of Grand Prix victories here in Qatar.
It was a 10th for the factory KTM team. What a start for Francesco Guidotti and that new Honda that we've talked about, Odium. Pol Espargaro's got 4 tenths of a second. Is still holding firm ahead of Joan Mir. Mir doesn't appear to have.
They don't think Brad Binder's going to be close enough. It's like as well, Pol Espargaro's going to hang on for 3rd. PP Ducati 21. He threatened this when he topped the timesheets, he topped the leaderboard in that official testing. I can fight for the championship on this bike. Nose on.
Just keeping the Gresini team sweating right the way down to the checkered flag, but only 2 more corners to go. And only.
They come out of the final corner. Enea Bastianini surely on course for a famous victory. The beast reigns supreme in the Middle East. What an emotional victory for an emotional scenes now will be down in that garage. Arco did get Quartararo on the last lap. We'll just pause for a moment to soak up the 2022 World Championship for that young man. His former team boss at Fausto Gresini, the man who gave him his big break in Grand Prix race. He's a man. Padovani, Gigi De. These are unforgettable scenes. Wow.
History made. History made. In the open visor, in the helmet of an MotoGP. We saw a couple of occasions at Mazzano last year just what he was capable of. There was a podium in it. But Brad Binder, so often a Sunday man, as he's 100th of a second. Get some reaction then. An emotional night for Gresini. Let's get some reaction from Simon Crafar in pit lane.
I can really see the emotion on your face. What? I feel too much emotion.
Could not put it any better myself. I truly going to forget. It was this young man's dream. He said, and it's certainly not going to be his last. That was awesome. What a ride. And of course, Fabio Di Gianantonio as well by Fausto Gresini. Joy and jubilation for Gresini. Fortunately, nothing he could do about this. Joan Zarco winds that Ducati up to top gear.
Thousandths of a second looks like.
The podium.
Francesco, I've got to say, I mean, Enea's ride was amazing, but Brad, that was just as good. Oh, here he comes now. Okay, what do you think of that?
Yeah, he did a very incredible start.
Massive congratulations.
Thank you.
In the factory KTM team, but these are scenes that we will never forget. They're going to live long in the Gresini, Arlo Pernat, one of the larger than P paddock. What a ride that was. We said, didn't we, with those last 6.
And an airbag championship leader. He takes the victory on the opening night by 3 tenths of a second, pipping the world champion Fabio Quartararo for 8th. Taki Nakagami completes the top 10 ahead of Franco Morbidelli in 12th ahead of Luca Marini and Andrea Dovizioso. Darren Binder, Fabio Martin taken out midway through the race by Pecco Bagnaia, last year's pole man, not Fez Marco Bezzecchi, and Espargaro heading to Lombok way to go in 3rd in the championship with 16 points. Remy Gardner, as mentioned, taking the final world overall for him after the first round of the season. The Independent Riders Championship then, no surprise in this.
The Losail circuit.
Okay, welcome back to my channel again. Kali ini kita mau balapan dengan Alex Green di GP Qatar.
While the cameras are showing us the riders concentrating before the start of the race.
Maret. Oke, langsung aja go to track. Joan Zarco berada di pole position kali ini. Alex Green berada di posisi paling belakang. Oke. kita akan langsung start. Start on the way. Wah, wih. Ayo Alevin, salib banyak-banyaknya. Motor tercepat di seri MotoGP 21. Malah melebar. Kita apalah. Semoga tidak ada gangguan jiwa dari para pembalap. Oke. Jangan sampai crash. Usahakan jangan sampai crash, rece itu. Saya tidak suka itu kadang kalau enggak. Memang susah nih men kalau start awal itu. Banyak single menyenggol, banyak tidak bengek lah. Tuh kan, racing mereka kacau semua. Saya juga kacau. Maka kami finalis. Aneh nih belokan, cara belok alat ini degleknya aneh, degleknya enggak. Deglek palanya masih no. Beda dia caranya. Enggak body out. Tahu namanya apa? Langsung nyalip banyak. Siapa senggol menyenggol membuat kacau. Oke. Susahnya mengejar 3 orang di depan ya men. Apakah bisa menang? Wow, malah crash. Oke. Tinggal Fabio sekarang. Fabio Quartararo. Quartararo. Akhirnya bisa posisi paling depan, bisa menang kali ini Alekrin, dan kemungkinan esok juga akan menang Alekrin. Oke. Ya, bisa menang dengan Alekrin.
Soon, cameras will take us to the podium to see the award ceremony.
Wah,
But in the meantime,
1 menit
let's
57.
take a look at the final
Kalau pakai
ranking of the
Alekrin bisa
MotoGP
tembus
class.
1 menit 57. Oke, terima kasih, jangan lupa like, comment, dan subscribe.